Good Sunday morning, everybody. Good Sunday morning. Welcome to Sunday with Spirit. For the people who are joining for the first time, this is not a political poll. This is a spiritual poll. Every Sunday, a group of us come together to raise the vibration of the planet by playing and creating in the web of creation. What we think reverberates throughout the web, throughout our planet, throughout the galaxies and universe. And so this week I wanted to look at change. Sometimes change seems to take forever, and then sometimes change seems to catch us off guard in a blink of an eye. We can see that in the destructive fires in Maui. The earth changes with storms, floods, and yet there are things within us that we would like to see change that just seem to take forever. And it almost feels like we're not changing at all. So I wanted to look at that a little bit. And at the end of this, if you want to stick around with it, I think I'm going to do a little guided meditation towards the people suffering from natural disasters. I'll probably pick specifically Maui, but it can be for anyone that's just suffering from, maybe it's a medical disaster, maybe it's I don't know. We'll when I get there, we'll see where that goes. So let's just look at change. Let's just see what the cards have to say about how we deal with change. And the cards that I'm using, the green, are the Sacred Earth Oracle. The earth tones are the Mystical Shaman. Change, wind. Wow. Speaking of earth changes, the wind is so powerful. There are, on YouTube, there is two women, Sandra Ingerman and Renee Barabo. I think I pronounced her name right. And Renee, she is a shaman that deals with wind. That's her grounding, her central thing, from what I understand. I've never taken a class with her. I just see her on the YouTube channel, The Shaman's Cave, and she has wind whistles. Anyway, wind is so powerful. It brings messages to us, messages of change. Now, when it's for you people in the who are like, feel like you're burning up with heat. Burning up, that's a crazy word. Thinking about Hawaii, that's probably the wrong word, but the wind can, if it's gentle, can cool us off, but then if it's a little too aggressive, it can create what we see in Hawaii. We can have tornadoes, hurricanes, a gentle breeze. What is the wind saying to you about change? And if we go out into in just outside of our house and feel the wind and let it go and say, what is the wind saying to us? And when I imagine myself outside right now, I think, well, at first the wind was hitting me from the back. What does that mean? And what does it mean when that wind is coming in your face? I think it's important for us to pay attention to what the wind says. If we ask for a question, what does the wind have to tell us? The winds of change. And it's asking us to be the luminous warrior. This luminous warrior, I love it. It's only for the light, only for the highest good. A lot of times we think of this change and we get into almost like a retribution of change, especially in our political climate today. You know, lock her up, lock him up, lock everybody up. Instead of setting everybody free, we want to restrict things. And it goes back to me when I say we can't have peace with more bombs. We have peace with more peace. And it's a hard concept to grasp sometimes. Luminous warrior, a warrior of the highest light. Huh. And the rainbow card. So what I see in these two cards, I see the big circle. That could be like an angel type thing. In this one, I saw a completion circle. Interesting. I mean, there's lots of circles here in all of these. So the rainbow card, the rainbow talks about transformation, talks about the 7 chakras that we have, and crossing over that rainbow bridge. That's certainly a big change. And so what I'm getting with this is, with the winds of change, stay in the highest light, always in the highest light. We are coming towards a completion, but it's important to stay healthy with these rainbows, with these 7 chakras. Check to make sure that our body, mind, and spirit are well grounded, and that our intentions are of the highest light. So the Sacred Earth Oracle suggests, alchemy, magic, look at that. This card it's a fascinating card to me. I'll just leave it up here. This card talks about creating change, that we have that within our ability, within our hands, within our grasp. But when I look at this card, it feels like this hand is made out of stone. And in the description with this card, it talks about the still change, the stillness of change, how it feels like we're not changing at all. Yet there's a passion to it, a fire to it. And if you have enough fire to something like rock, it'll turn it into another thing, another opportunity. So it's, we have the wind and fire, and heavy on my mind is Hawaii. If we keep our intentions pure of the highest light with this rainbow warrior, we can create something new in that place. Right now, all we hear about is the destruction, is the loss of life, is the burnt buildings, and how it can never be rebuilt. It can never be rebuilt like it was. It'll be rebuilt to something new, something better, changed into who knows. Here's the friction that is not excuse me, not allowing the change. No, it's, I remember Katrina, where people were saying, well, you can't rebuild New Orleans because it's going to get hit again, hit again, hit again. When do you stop rebuilding in floodplains? When do you, and I don't have the right answer for that. But there is friction right now because of the fear, the pain, the loss. We're in the passion too much, and it's not the luminous warrior passion. It's the friction passion that's slowing us down. Preservation. It's the fear. It's the fear that's holding us back from the magic. Out of this, if we stay in fear, if we just look at this card in fear, we never get to see the new birth in the new world. We never get to see the flower that's blooming in the heart space. We're just in fear. Change. So the center card, I used Mystical Shaman Oracle. We have the Winds of Change. We have the Alchemy. We can change what we want. It may not be exactly what we want. It may take longer than we want. But if we stay in this luminous warrior energy, not in the friction, stay in the rainbow, the completion cycle, keep checking our chakras, knowing that we are transforming. And here's another transformation from, it's like the death card, death to rebirth. In the center card, what should we do with all of this? And it's the child. Play. Be the child. Think like a child. When I think of the child card, It's more about being in awe of what's going on. There is some fear moments. There is some there are some fear moments. There is there are moments where it feels like there's a paralyzation, a paralyzed thing to keep us from moving forward, but we do move forward. We always go forward. We take that luminous leap away from the friction and we listen to the wind. What's the wind telling us? All right, all right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening to this Sunday with Spirit. For those who want to stick around, I invite us to come together. Close your eyes, if you will. If you choose to watch the screen, I'll have a picture up. And let's just take a couple of deep breaths. Big deep breath in, slow deep breath out. And we want to feel ourselves in our chairs, in our rooms. And we take another deep breath in, slowly exhaling it. And we continue that. And in our mind's eye, we slowly rise above where we are. And we walk out of our rooms through a mist into a beautiful place in nature. And we're walking along a path. And as we walk along this path, we see others from this circle. And we pass by a familiar healing pyramid, a healing dome. And we notice that there is a secondary pyramid, a secondary dome attached to the healing space. This is the peace dome. And some of us will go into the healing dome, and some of us will go into the peace dome. And as we enter, we notice the colors inside the dome have shifted. And it's this rainbow of colors. And one of these colors settles around us. So individually, we are one color, and maybe it's a healing color that we need. Maybe it's just a peaceful, warm color we need. And together, we make up the rainbow. And we sit in this rainbow color. and we gently feel the wind gently blowing on our face, whispering in our ear, "You are the Luminous Warrior. You are rebirth. You are change." And we sit in this space for a couple of minutes, and we slowly hear a rattle in the background. We are change. We are healing. We are luminous warriors. And we hear the return beat calling us back. And as we get up to leave, we may hug each other as we walk out the door. We may have found that we were holding hands with one of us in the circle. And we slowly get up, come back to our rooms. We take a deep breath, wiggle our toes, wiggle our fingers, and slowly open your eyes. You may choose to write some things down so you don't forget if you got a message. Thank you for being here on this Sunday with Spirit. Peace and love.